Okay, we're going to be having a look at simplifying fractions. Hopefully you're confident and happy about the idea of equivalent fractions and that the same fraction can be written in different ways. This is just about writing it in its simplest way. Okay, so it's about taking out a factor from our numerator and denominator, keep taking out factors until you can't take out any more, and it's in its simplest possible form. Okay, I'm going to do a few quick examples, and hopefully you'll get a good idea of what's going on. Okay, so concepts, first of all, that you need to be confident in, as I said, are the idea of equivalent fractions and what a factor is. And ideally, you should be able to find highest common factor. Okay, so we're going to simplify the following. Okay, I'm going to do questions and write some notes as I go. So the first kind of question you may be asked could look something like this. So we're simplifying 4 over 16. Okay, so as I said, you're just going to look for a factor that 4 and 16 share. Now they're both even, so that means that they both share a factor of 2. So my first step could be to divide by 2. That would be fine. Dividing by 2 would give us, well, 4 divided by 2 is 2. 16 divided by 2 is 8. Okay, this number here, these numbers here are both still in the 2 times table, so we could go again. So divide this by 2 and divide this by 2. 2 divided by 2, 8 divided by 2. Okay, now, a problem lots of students take into account is that they see examples like this and they just think, I just need to keep halving it every time. Okay, if I cannot halve it anymore, then it's fully simplified. Okay, that's not always true. We'll look at some cases in the future when it isn't. In this case, I just found a factor that both the numerator and denominator shared, took that out, got a new fraction, then to see, is there another factor they share? Took that out, got a new fraction. This time one of my numbers was 1, so we cannot get any simpler than that. So this has to be the simplified fraction. What I could have done is look for the highest common factor of both these numbers, 4 and 16. So the highest common factor of 4 and 16 is 4. Okay, all that would have done is save me the time, rather than dividing by 2 and then getting an answer, then divided by 2 again and getting the final answer. Because I know the highest common factor of 4 and 16 is 4, I could have just gone straight from this. And I know that the highest common factor is 4, so I'm just going to divide top and bottom by 4. 4 divided by 4 is 1, 16 divided by 4 is 4, and I get straight to the answer in one step. So if you're able to find the highest common factor, that will save you lots of time, okay? This way is not wrong, it just takes a little bit longer. If possible, do find the highest common factor. Okay, for the sake of my working out, I am going to stick with just taking out a factor, just to show that it will always work. But if you're able to find highest common factor, then please do, it will save yourself some time. Right, let's have a look. We're going to simplify another fraction. This time we have 12 over 18. Okay, now my first check, as always, would be, well, is it even? Yes, it's even, so we can halve the top to get 6, halve the bottom to get 9. Okay, so 6/9, can that be simplified? Well, they're both not even, so we're going to check some other times tables. They're not in the they're not in the 2 times table, sorry. They're in the 1 times table, but that's not helpful, because if we divide by 1, it's not going to get any smaller. Let's have a look at 3. They're both in the 3 times table, so we can divide both of these by 3. So 6 divided by 3 gives us 2. 9 divided by 3 gives us 3. Okay, so now we're left with 2 and 3. Are there any times tables that 2 and 3 both appear in? Well, other than the 1 times table, no. So this must be fully simplified. Okay, so just to be clear, the steps I took, firstly was to divide by 2, the top and the bottom. Whatever I do to the top, I must use the bottom. And then I divided by 3. If you're able to spot from the start, our highest common factor of 12 and 18 is 6. So you could have, rather than doing the 2 divisions, gone straight to this one by dividing by 6. Okay, that would have been fine. Okay, let's have a look at a couple more. We're going to have 68. Let's do it next to it. 68 over 80. So my first test, they're both even, so let's divide by 2. 68 divided by 2 is going to be 34. 80 divided by 2 is going to be 40. We've still got even numbers, so that means we can divide by 2 again. So this is going to be 17 over 20. Okay, well 17 is a prime number, so it doesn't, the only factors it has is 17 and 1. So we cannot simplify this any further. So we divided by 2, then divided by 2 again. The quickest route would have been divided by 4, but remember, if you don't spot that, it's fine to do it in stages. Right, one more. Let's do 21 over 35. Okay, now you could run through all your divisibility tests with these two numbers, see what their factors are. You just need to be confident with your times tables. If you're confident with your times tables, you should hopefully be able to spot the factors. So 21, I know 21 is 3 times 7. That's the only way you can make it. Is 35 in the 3 times table? Well, 3 add 5 is 8. 8 isn't the 3 times table, so it's not. Is it in the 7 times table? Yes, 7 times 5. Okay, so we can divide top by 7. 21 divided by 7 is 3. And the bottom, 35 divided by 7 is 5. Okay, so again, these are similar fractions, but these are fully simplified because we cannot take any more factors out of these to make them smaller.